Okay, kinsang literature review ang unahon na tuog kuan. Stop sa ni nako ha. Stop sharing. Kinsa nga literature review, article review. Ano bitaw nga akong giklase sa eskwelahan kay research. Ang akong uto kay nara sa literature review. Okay, kinsa una nga article ang atong kuanon. Na ako'y na-download here kay Sir Lumag, I think. Asa to? Murag kang Sir Lumag. Ako na-download. Sige, unahon na to ka Sir Lumag ha. Kani kang kinsa ni?
Kunin ko ma'am, total rewards strategy, no?
Kinsa ni be?
Ang gidali-dali ra ba nako na ma'am?
It's okay. Kani kinsa ning total rewards kang sir?
Ako na ma'am.
Imo ni Sir Lumag. Okay, Sir Lumag. Kanang pwede nimo ma-present ning imo ha sir, dayon atong discussion dayon after. Okay ra sir?
Sahon naman na ma'am no.
Yes sir.
Sige. Start na ko ma'am.
Yes sir, you can start now.
So this article entitled Total Reward Strategy for a Multi-Generational Workforce in a Financial Institution. So similar ni siya sa amo ang topic sa group 5 sa among reporting na nagtackle og multi-generational in the workplace. Thesis statement, the purpose. This study investigate whether perceptions of reward strategy differed across generations in a large financial institutions in South Africa. This context was specifically chosen due to the significant competition to attract and retain staff that exist in a financial sector. To contribute the practical challenges of reward implementation, the study investigate whether specific reward preferences associated with generation exist, and whether offering rewards based on these preferences would successfully attract and retain staff. So there are 3 research questions. Number 1, does a generation-based preference for reward exist? Number 2, does a total reward strategy addresses the preference of each of the individual generations? And then number 3, do generation-specific rewards improve the company's ability to attract, motivate, and retain their employees? So wala siya ay hypothesis. Kanya ang method niya is a qualitative survey design was used. A total of 6,316 employees from a financial firm completed a survey investigating their experiences and perceptions of reward strategies. Statistically, significant differences across different generations and reward preference were considered. The findings: significant differences in reward preferences were found across generation cohorts. This supports international literature. The major conclusions: considering future demographic trends, employees from Generation X and Generation Y will start to dominate the composition of the workforce. So kining Generation Y, mo ni ang millennials, other term na siya. Employers need to consider the preferences and motivation of these generations in order to attract and retain talent, as well as to increase productivity. Reward strategy plays a role in defining the employee value proposition, and as such demands continued attention of employers. One size fits all reward strategies do not take individual preferences into account, but it can be urged that large employers do not have the capacity to customize reward packages at an individual level. The complexity of this type of customization would lead to significant expense in terms of time and coordination. It is thus beneficial for organizations to find a way to segment the workforce according to reward preference in the way that provides a balance between individual customization and organizational efficiency. This research investigates the role of generational theory as means of segmenting the workforce to understand reward preference. The findings show that there are indeed preferences in reward based on defined generations. It suggested that these preferences can be used to enhance the attraction and retention of employees. The use of total rewards model is advocated, in which the mix of financial and non-financial rewards is offered to employees in a manner that is consistent with preferences aligned to age and generation. Identifying the research gaps. So this research should further provide the business recommendation. Business recommendation would be that an employer should definitely consider using a full scope of a total reward strategy to remunerate their staff. It is understandable that not all companies can provide the mixture of rewards that a large company can. But to apply a basic components of the total reward strategy will allow the employee and employer to engage more readily and achieve the objectives they both want. So practical applications of where an employer can make use of findings should be given. And then for the recommendation, research questions, at least 3. Number 1, can a total reward strategy be formulated to address the preferences of each of the multiple generations? Number 2, can generational specific rewards improve the company's ability to attract, motivate, and retain their employees? 3, is there a preference in reward from a multiple generational workforce? Ora siya. Kaya na ko na kuan ra ba ma'am na studyhan ang
Okay, ang ato ani sir is ang letter H o letter I raman sir no?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, kinaraman ato ang atong ansiran. So anybody from the group nga naay pwede ma-add ani ato ang research questions. Kana lang siguro atong dugangan. At least 3 man to sir no, pero ang identified research gaps ani okay naman siguro ni sir, should further provide the business recommendations. So ang dugangan pa ba nato ni atong research questions ani?
Pwede
Okay
na
na ni
i-revise
sir?
ma'am na may mga ideas.
Oo, basi na imadugang, naiganahan mo dugang, pwede na to ni dugangan. Pero kung sa ako, okay naman ni siya, sir.
Okay na ma'am.
Okay na ni.
Kira kayo, ma'am.
Okay, since we all voted na okay na ni siya, so ato ni siyang apilon as one of our article review. So, what's next? Ako ning stop sharing sa aha. So, okay na to kang Sir Joey. So, ato
Thank you,
na
ma'am.
siyang kuanan. Unsa pa man to'y lain kang Ma'am Elvira to no, naapapod to no? Unsa gani to'y title sa imo Ma'am Elvira?
Taas ka ba ito, ma'am? Kuan, flexible human resource management and firm innovativeness.
Pangitaon sana ko ma'am, na-download ba to na ko ma'am?
Pag taas to kayo, ma'am. Copy-paste ra bang itong mga thesis statement, introduction, purpose.
Okay, copy-paste ra man gid siya ma'am.
Dari na ko sa kantong na major conclusions of identifying research gap.
Ang sa ako ma-refer ako na present og kuan kay na ako gi-edit kay sayo na.
Sige ma'am, so iuna sana to present ni kang Ma'am Elvira.
Okay po.
And then next imo Ma'am Julie.
Unsa mo diretso na ko sa kuan ma'am or i-read sa nako ning mga thesis statement, introduction, pero murag gamay lang siya.
Gamay lang ang i-read ma'am, ang importante lang siguro ma'am.
Pag-abot na dito sa kuan na
Oh.
diri sa major conclusions og sa identified research gap.
Uh-uh.
Sige, okay, ma'am.
Okay, let us hear from the work of Ma'am Elvira Duterte.
Okay, my research article review is about flexible human resource management and firm innovativeness, the mediating role of innovative work behavior. Okay, the thesis statement. This paper examines the relationship between flexible HRM, innovative work behaviors, and firm innovativeness. We develop a theoretical framework which links the construct together, innovative work behaviors, flexible HRM, along with the three sub-dimensions, the HR practices flexibility, employee skill flexibility, and employee behavioral flexibility. Okay, introduction. A digital age and knowledge economy have shaped heavy changes in the corporate world. The organizations are now facing tough competitions in the dynamic, uncertain, transforming, and complex environment. In order to achieve competitive advantage and even for the survival, firms heavily depends on their ability to adapt and respond to the environment, flexibility, and introduction capability of new ideas and products. Okay, the purpose of this article is, although the role of human resource management in innovations has generated much academic output, the basic purpose of the study is to examine the relationship between flexible human resource management, innovative work behaviors, and firm innovativeness together. In addition to empirical analysis to their relationship, the paper also will attempt to provide logics how flexible human resource management shape innovative work behaviors and how innovative work behaviors in turns enhance firm innovative capabilities. The study also will help understand how flexibility in the human resource management can help them to respond effectively towards market changes of innovativeness. Okay, the research questions are, the study will tend to answer the following research questions. Number one, does HRM enhance the innovative work behavior in the employment of the organization? Number two, do innovative work behaviors contribute in enhancing firm innovative capabilities? Number three, does HRM enhance firm innovativeness? And number four, do innovative work behaviors intermediate the relationship between HRM and firm innovativeness? Okay, theoretical insights or the hypothesis. Flexible HRM is an important element of strategic HRM. It's the internal capability of firms and considered as a prerequisite for the sustained competitive advantage. Flexible human resources investigates the degree to which firms can quickly and effectively adjust according to the environment changes. The methodology and measures, as the paper is quantitative in nature, so the survey as a research method was adopted. We collected the data from high technology firms operating, which have formally established in human resource management and have at least 100 employees in place. The reasons to choose high technology firms as a target population is because the paper focuses on innovation and flexible HRM. So the companies from which survey collected should be innovation oriented and should have properly established human resource department. Okay, the key findings or analysis is scale reliability was checked before performing any analysis, and Cronbach's alpha reported for the current study. Results and analysis has been done using the descriptive statistics, regression analysis, correlation analysis, and mediation analysis. Descriptive statistics was used to check the frequencies of age, gender, sector, and designations. It was also used to check the mean and standard deviation of variables and their subdimension. The correlation was performed to check the relationship between variables and subdimensions. Okay, for the major conclusion, the study was conducted to examine the relationships between flexible HRM, innovative work behaviors, and firm innovativeness. The study extended the theoretical arguments of the previous researchers on on firm HRM by linking this flexible HRM with employee innovative work behaviors. It was discussed flexible HRM in terms of dynamic, capability, resource-based view, and behavioral perspective. Results of the study fully supported over our all four hypotheses. It was found that flexible HRM enhance innovative work behaviors in the employees, which in turn lead the organizations towards enhanced firm innovativeness. Okay, let's come to identified research gap. Okay, the identified research gap. The results demonstrate that innovative work behavior has the largest mean, while processes innovativeness, which is the sub-dimension of firm innovativeness, has the lowest mean. Okay, they need to understand that to be innovative, they should mold their human resource management as flexible. It will help generation, promotion, realizations. These behaviors will take the firm towards high innovative, their administrative works. The study also has a limitations. First, limitation in the study and does not involve demographics information and the relationships testing. Second, the study involved only main hypothesis and did not include any hypothesis. Okay, third, the selected and high technology companies which are fast and flexible future researchers can test it using the slow and status quo loving companies to check whether their non-flexibility in HRM impacts their innovative performance. And lastly, there are some firm level factors. Okay, so interested future researchers might test it by taking the moderator in the study. Okay, the recommended questions are research questions. Number 1, what is flexibility in human resource management? Number 2, what is the relationship between HRM and innovation? And number 3, what is the HR role in organizational innovation? And also the references at the last portion. Okay, that's all, Ma'am Marite. Ako lang shortcut, Ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Unsay atong mastorya, classmates. Okay na ba na siya? Okay, okay na ba ni classmates?
Anang pila galit ta ka buok ma'am nga mag-present ma'am for article review.
Kuan ma'am, si Sir Joey, imo, kang Ma'am Elvira. Na ay ako pud isa.
Mag naapay kang mamadel no?
O, napapoy kang mamadel.
Unsa man ato ana siyang itakol tanan or itakol tanan a sir ta mag-choose or unsa man?
Kamay mag-igo, ma'am.
Umo pud na akong
Pilian na lang siya, Ma'am. Ma'am, Marife, ato na
Pwede
lang
ra,
siya
ma'am. Ya,
pilian.
pilian siya
Kanang murag
og
mga mugbo
Oo,
lang na kanang murag di kayo kuan.
sige
Kanang murag
no?
na importante na gyud bitaw nga gi kuan, Ma'am.
So, itakol gihapon na to ning 5.
Pili lang sila tulo, ma'am.
Wala na,
Kanang
ma'am.
Oh, kada lang tulo, Ma'am. Bahala gyud sa bisan kinsa lang.
Oo, sige.
Bali
sige.
Lang
bali
kuan,
mag-tackle
oo.
ta og 5 tapos magpili na dayon ta
Pili
ninyo.
na yung say
Oo,
best
sa
nga.
kanang ipasa, oo.
Better pod no. Sige.
Oo. Kay para pud ma-recognize ang trabaho sa uban, ma'am, 'di ba?
Oh, sige. Oh, sige,
Yes.
Ma'am. Atong
Thank you, ma'am.
pabasahon po ang katong tanan nagpass.
O bahala na gug i-shorten na lang siya, ma'am. Dili na lang gid siya lahustanan i-kuan na to.
Oo.
Okay. Ako ning stop sharing. Okay, next to present on the article review is Ma'am Julie Grace Lino.
Sige ma'am. Ala, host disabled participant screen sharing. Ako na lang i-forward sa ma'am sa kuan siguro, messenger. Dili ko ka-present. Hello, ma'am.
Okay. Try sana kong check sa security, ma'am, ha?
Kahinay sa akong data oy.
Ah, okay na,
Wala
ma'am.
mo.
Pwede na, ma'am.
Sige, ma'am. Okay na, Ana. Makita na.
Na, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Mag-start na ko ha. Good afternoon to everyone. Ang title sa research article nako is Impact of Human Resource Management or HRM Practices on Employee Performance. So a case of Telecom Malaysia. Author ni siya, correct me, I'm sorry kung mamali na ko basa, Talakshmi Mahadivan and Fadumo Amid Muhammad. This statement is human resource practices are organizational tools that can be used to attract and retain the best brain in order to achieve organization objectives. So in this scenario, this research examined the impact of certain HR practices on employee performance as case study of Telecom Malaysia. The main purpose of the study was to identify the impact of HR practices on employee performance. Then the research questions. The study will tend to answer the following research questions. So is there a significant relationship between training and development practices and employee performance? Number 2, is there a significant relationship between performance appraisal and employee performance? Third is there a significant relationship between employee performance and employee participation and employee performance? So sa hypothesis, correlated lagi hapon ang research question and the hypothesis ani niya. So ang hypothesis niya wala na kanal, gi-copy lang pud nako, bahalag wala na kanal kay common man gud sa thesis is na kanal hypothesis siya. So kani siya wala siya na kanal hypothesis. So hypothesis 1, there is a significant relationship between training and development practices and employee performance. So assumption lang ni siya. Hypothesis 2, there is a significant relationship between performance appraisal and employee performance. Hypothesis 3, there is a significant relationship between employee participation and employee performance. Methods, ako na lang gipang highlight. So the data is collected through survey questionnaire. So as this study is about the HRM and performance to understand the impact, and the quantitative approach, meaning rely on numerical or measurable data, was adopted. And rationale for the selection of close-ended questions. So a close-ended survey question is more that provides respondents with a fixed number of responses from which to choose an answer. So it is made up of question stem and a set of answer choices. Kabaliktaran siya sa open-ended nga pwede ka maghatag or mag-expound pa. So the data used for this study were obtained from both primary and secondary data sources. The primary sources include direct information collected through administration of questionnaires in order to gain insight into the research topic. And the secondary data sources include journals, textbooks, and other related publications, both online and offline. Data were gathered through administering of questionnaires to the employees of the Telecom Malaysia. And the entire questions in the questionnaires were structured. So a data collection method that relies on asking questions in a set order to collect data on a topic. And furthermore, the information was later converted into percentage to ease analysis. And the second section that consists of 5-point Likert scales questions. So, mao ni siya ang close-ended questions baya. So, nara siya ilian nimo kung mao ba ni siya the options answer provided for the question start with 1, which stands for strongly agree, followed by 2, which represents agree, and so on. And the data gathered was analyzed using the statistical analysis software. So familiar siguro taan ni kaning SPSS, no? Version 21, and was used to analyze the data collected. So the SPSS software was used to perform descriptive statistics such as correlation analysis, regression analysis, and to compare the differences of the regression coefficient. And key findings. So kung siya akong gibutan sa key findings, hypothetical testing. So ang first hypothesis is there is a significant relationship between training and development practices and employee performance. So after na-conduct tong research, interview, surveys, questionnaire, so gianova niya And this can be interpreted as the relationship between training and employee performance is significant. Therefore, tinuod ni siya accept na nato nga hypothesis that there is a significant relationship between training and development practices and employee performance. So, accepted atong first na hypothesis. Second hypothesis, there is a significant relationship between performance appraisal and employee appraisal. So diri sab, the value of significant of the model from ANOVA is 0.0, and this shows that relationship between performance appraisal and employee performance is statistically significant. Therefore, i-accept gihapon nato ning second hypothesis that there is a significant relationship between performance appraisal and employee performance. Third hypothesis nga gitest is there is a significant relationship between employee participation and employee performance. So according to the result, from the ANOVA table, the significance in the relationship between employee participation and employee performance is tested. It can be deduced from the result that there is no relationship between the independent variables, the employee participation, and the dependent variable, employee performance. So both the independent and dependent variables are not comparable and fit. So therefore, kani siyang hypothesis ato ang i-reject. So by correcting this, there is no significant relationship between employee participation and employee performance. Okay, so major conclusions. Taas man kayo ni. So diri na lang ko sa akong gipang-highlight ha. It was found that performance appraisal has moderate influence on the performance and employee participation in decision-making has least influence on the performance. Furthermore, this study results match with Tahir 2006 findings where he revealed that training, compensation, and performance appraisal are highly significant in employees' efficiency and effectiveness. Likewise, the findings from this research are in line with the results from SING, I don't know how to read it, 2004, where it is revealed that training and compensation have significant influence on organization and employees' performance. In addition, this finding is also relates with the study results, and these study results are also the same with the findings revealed by Sultana et al. 2012, where it is shown that employee training helps to develop organization performance, take a vital role in improving employee performance, as well as increasing productivity, and eventually helps to place organizations in the best position to face competitive challenges and stay on top. And the identified research gaps. There are also many limitations of the study, which includes, first, the study is only limited to a single telecom major in Malaysia. So the results of this study can only be used for further research in telecom industry at different levels. Secondly, the HR practices or the human resource practices discussed in the study are very short in numbers. These HR practices are taken from the research work already done by different researchers and according to the predominant HR practices at Telecom Malaysia. Hence, there are several other practices which could be focused in future studies. Diri ra po ko nakuha og ako mga recommended research questions. So number 1, is there a significant difference between the telecom industries at different levels? Number 2, aside from the human resource practices presented in the study, what are the other HR practices to be considered? And consider the ay, nawala ko. Sorry. Nako. Okay. And number 3, what are the other human resource practices that is crucial or essential for the organizations to retain and to care their employees and to provide their competitive advantages? So this is my reference. Dito ko nagkuha. This is a journal entry. So that is all my research article review. Thank you very much. Mag-stop sharing na ba ko or tan-awon pa ninyo? Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Okay na siya kaayo, ma'am.
Paspas na ba ko kaayo?
Tagtira.
Okay na, mag-stop sharing na ko ha. Pilian na nato niya. Good.
Oo, sige.
Okay. Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Mama Del, unsa ganito imo, Mama Del?
About man to siya sa kuan ma'am, kanang human resource management gihapon pero dili lang ko ka-share. Dili dili ko
I-download
kuan.
sa i-download sa nako to, ma'am, ha.
Sige, sige ma'am. Pwede rin dito imuha ma'am para mas-short na itong ano. Upat lang siguro. Depende.
Asa man to dapit? Sir Julius. Nawala man ko. Ay, haman to dapita. Ay, sa ha. Naara mo to sa ibabaw pa, ma'am, no? Mama Del. Kani ba to, Mama Del? Kani ba to?
Di na ako makita. Okay, murag ka na ma'am.
Sige.
Mao na siya ma'am.
Oo na siya. Okay, ikaw basa, Mama Del. Dili lang, bahala na ginagmay na lang gud ato ang basahon, dili na lang nato iko ang tanan. Okay, you can start, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, this is about case studies for human resource management, the HRM. So the introduction. This is a case of two competitive hotels, beachside and sunrise, that each square measures set touristy base city within the Northeast United States of America. So, kukakuan kayo ma'am, pwede ka gamay man siya good oy.
Okay, ako na lang basa, ma'am.
Sa cellphone na magud akong gamit ma'am.
Okay, ako na lang basa.
Dili
For
ako, ma'am.
the introduction, this is a case of two competitive hotels, beachside and sunrise, that each square measure set touristy-based city within the Northeast United States of America. So they have such the same infrastructure with 60 current of airspace every and beach read. They're competitive for the same set of gossets and same set of potential staff. There was 98 occupancy rate of sunrise edifies throughout peak mount and in off-peak 65th to beachside edifice is 19th and 500th severally. Okay. Analysis. As I actually have analyzed the case, I actually have shown the subsequent issues within the beachside hotel. So from the findings and analysis, in order to be to begin dynamic the human capital practices at the beachside edifice, there has to be a significant shift within the culture there. Okay. Sige na ko ni apilon. Now,
There is
sa solutions of the case question, so what systems ought to brain implement so as to begin dynamic the human capital practices within the beachside hotel? Second, what might brain learn from Joe in terms of human capital aspects of running a hotel? Third, however, might coaching and development programs as enforced within the beachside edifice so as to assist with turnover and occupancy rates at the hotel. The fourth one, however, might come back in investment perspective facilitate or hurt the beachside in attempting to widen the Sunrise Hotel. Fifth, what different human resource initiatives may be undertaken by either the Sunrise Edifice or beachside edifice as to assist with general performance of their perspective. So, motivating, so, moto siya. So, kuan man din ni siya ma'am no sa case study analysis for human resource management between the two competing hotels. Okay. So, unsay plano mga groupmates?
Padayon lang siguro gihapon ta ma'am sa kuan katong inyuhang topics.
Sige. Ako sang i-stop ang screen ha. Okay. So, pila naman to ka review ma'am? Tulo na to, upat?
Upat na.
Upat to no?
Upat na, ma'am.
Okay, yun sa man. Dugang patag isa ma'am?
Sige na ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Naapod ba ito imuha?
Sige.
Ako. Ang imo, ma'am Marife, ang imo pod.
Maaman siguro tanay. Okay. Article review on innovative strategic human resource management practices, determinants of competitive advantage among selected firms in the Philippines. So, ang nagbuhat ay nga an article is from University of San Carlos. Maulaw ta magkuano critic kay murag mayo kay ang nangbuhat. Okay, further thesis statement, competitive advantage implies having an edge over competitors through some core competencies such as innovation, good quality, inimitable skills, and price leadership, which clearly set a firm apart from other firms in the industry. The purpose of their study, this paper aims to investigate the degree to which the bundle of innovative strategic human resource management practices is implemented and if these HSRM practices significantly influence the ability to gain competitive advantage of select firms in the Philippines. Their research questions, there are 4. What is the implementation level of the various innovative SHRM practices as predictors of the firms for gaining competitive advantage? Second, what degree of influence of each of the following innovative SHRM practices will contribute to the firm's goal gaining competitive advantage, such as the recruitment and selection, training and development, compensation, performance management, work-life balance, and labor relations. Next, what a SHRM function is the most significant determinant in gaining competitive advantage? Last question, what are the emerging innovative human resource practices in the workplace that attract and retain talents for the firms? These are their hypotheses. The bundle of innovative practices in each of the functions of SHRM is moderately X equals unsan di jud ko kamao sa math pasensya implemented to gain competitive advantage. Their hypothesis 2, the bundle of innovative practices in the labor relations functions of SHRM is the most significant determinant to gain competitive advantage. Their methods, they're using descriptive and casual research designs. A survey was conducted among 30 companies in the Philippines. Of the 30 participating firms, 12 are engaged in manufacturing and 18 in the service sector industry. So, the specific indicators naggamit pud sa katong kuan sa pa ilang gigamit be Likert scale gihapon ilahang gigamit, and then to test their hypothesis, the test about a population mean was one to prove if the overall mean response of the employees in which the HRM function differs from the assumed value of X is to 3.50. So, ang second hypothesis, they uses the ordered logistic regression using the maximum likelihood estimation was run through the eViews nga software. So, they are using software also. Their key findings, the change in the leadership style and governance principles of the national executive and legislative branches of the Philippine government has brought about some substantial growth in the economy as shown in the increase of GDP, employment rate, and trade, as well as the increase in the confidence of the business sector to invest in the industry. So, therefore, the Department of Labor and Employment, in partnership with the local government units and the academe, has included it as a priority in the development plan, the long-term manpower training, and the development of the local Philippine labor force to meet both local and international demands. So, So the key findings, therefore, through their HRM units, companies have adopted on a continuing basis various people-related practices to gain competitive advantage in the local and global markets. Now, the major conclusions. Human resource management performs an integral and strategic function in managing firms. It is a key management tool since human resources are considered essential in the continued existence and success of any business. It is therefore not surprising that management continuously invests in its human capital. So, ang conclusion is the investment of human capital. Now, for the identified research gaps, the leading companies in the Philippines are most likely similar to those in the other countries. It is suggested that most research be done on the development and evaluation of innovative SHRM practices as they relate to gaining a competitive advantage, as well as other variables such as the patent registration and new products or new designs or new processes. So, kailangan siya i-develop. Now, for the recommended research questions. First, what are the potential mediators between SHRM practices and firm performance? Second, what are the SHRM practices and competitive advantages like in the government, globalization, information technology, and culture of society? Lastly, is there a significant relationship between human capital investment and competitive advantage? So, maura to siya mga ma'am ug sir. Any nga ikadugang ani. Okay. Ma'am and sir, any ikadugang na to ani.
Okay na to, ma'am.
Okay naman na siya, ma'am.
Okay na ni. So,
Okay na,
magsabot ng ta later, sir, kung asay pilian na to ani. And then,
Ma'am,
yes, sir. Ang pag-submit na to ani, isa lang man ba to ang mo submit, Sir Julius?
Mao ni ako nadumduman ma'am, ang leader lang may mag-submit ma'am niya naka-indicate ang listing sa members kay nabala naman na dayon ni ma'am kung kana ang asa ka nga grupo 6 ba ka or 5. Ambot ang uban ma'am, ug unsay ilang hinumduman basta mo ako hinumduman ma'am.
Mao na akong nahibalaan, sir. Isa ra ang mag-submit kay makabalo naman si ma'am kung kinsay ka grupo nato kay pag-submit sa ko naabay ato dito sa atong atong iyang gipangbutangan og 1 to 5, 1 to 6 di ay.
Pila ka buka tong isubmit ani ma'am and sir?
Tulo ka article ma'am.
Ma'am,
Tulo ra, ma'am.
Tulo. Upaton na lang siguro na to, sir ug ma'am. Kay maniguro ta kay nag-iipon ba yata 5 ug 6.
sige.
Ang others unsa ilang pamaagi? Giipon nila ang ilang katong group 1 and 2, group 3 and 4, gaipon sila.
Wala po mi kabalo, ma'am.
O gani,
Sa ilang
ang ato na lang, paniguro na lang ta, upaton na lang ni nato siya o submit so that kung mingon si ma'am nga kuan, at least upat atong gi-submit. Nag-ipon ta sa 5 and 6 pero upat atong gi-submit, di ba?
Okay ma'am, okay ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Sige, ma'am.
Sige, ma'am.
So, unsa naman ta, Ma'am Julie, mag-end na ta, Ma'am Julie?
5 man to ma'am atong nahimo.
O 5, pwede po to na to i-submit ang 5, ma'am.
Ihurot na ma'am.
Oh, unsa man.
Oh, kana na lang, ma'am, kay duha ra ba gyud ta ka group.
Wa po na akong nalibugan kaya ang sa akong nasabtan is by group siya as in group 1, group 2, group 3 and so forth.
Gawas siguro sa ABC questions, ma'am, kay ipon man jud ta, no?
Oo, mao gyud
Oh,
pero
ma'am.
nasabtan. Pero wala man ko last meeting so dili gyud ko ka sigurado kamo gyud ang makatubagan.
Pero si ma'am, ka wala man gud niya gi-specify gud kung unsa nga grupo. Ang group 5, lahi ba? Ang group 6, lahi. Pero kita, paniguro na lang jud ta. Nadaghan na lang po datong i-submit. At least,
Sige, ma'am.
At least klaro mo po sa atong recording nga nagtinabangay ta group 5 and 6.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
So,